Hey guys, how's it going this morning? I'm just going to let a few more people get in here. Let's go through. Oh, hey, Ashley. Hi, Anita. Hi, Savage. Hi, Aggie. Oh, hi, Team Benny Keys. Are you going to behave while you're in here? Because we take different opinions and everything, so we're not going to have a problem, are we? Hi, Norma. Hi, Twin Mama. Hi, Just Joy. Maddie, Snow, Norma, Leslie, Susan. We got a lot of new people in here. Hey, welcome, everybody. All right, looks like everyone's getting situated. Hey, ask your bartender. Team. Okay, Benny says he's a good boy today. All right, Benny. Benny, have you gotten that birth ring yet for Candace? That was a nice touch. All right, I'm going to bring Kevin up real quick. Hey, Kevin, can you hear me? Yeah, he'll tune in a second. All right. First of all, I was going to tell you guys that I got a message from Shannon, Georgia Peach. And I'll just read it really quick. She put it on the community tab. Oh, I just had it pulled up. It says, to my CLL channel family, I'm dealing with my father-in-law about to pass. You have the best mods and subs. I'll be back soon. So let's think about Shannon. If you guys see her on there, just send her like a nice reply, that we're thinking about her, what's going on in her family, her father-in-law. I don't know the whole story, but it's obviously really bad. So we're going to talk mainly, Kevin, there's a new link. It's right above you. We're going to talk mainly about Candace today. We'll get into Dawn, but we don't want to keep everybody, all day. There's Kevin. Hey, my friend, what happened? Did it expire? I hate when that happens.
Yeah, something. It just all of a sudden when I could see your channel, I could hear everything, but you couldn't hear me.
Okay. All right. So, everything's about Dawn. Dawn. And he's got a lot going on. Okay. He doesn't need a lot going on because he was at work, right? He doesn't need to have a lot going on. He could easily say, we're praying for Summer, trying to find my daughter. But he's taken it to a whole new level, everything between Revelations and the resurrection. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look on him. But we're going to talk more about Candace today because we know she was with Summer all day long. You got it, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm just waiting to fire.
I know you are. We've been waiting all week for you. I feel like we haven't been on here for like a month, and it's just been a few days. But so much stuff goes on. I'm telling you, unless you want to do 3 lives a day, you can't keep up with this case. There's always something going on.
Nope, there's always another chapter in the shit show.
Mm-hmm. So, we don't make any accusations here or anything like that.
Nope. And as far as I go, it's just my opinion, no one else's. I'm not laying my opinions on anybody, but I can tell you right now, I don't agree with I have my own opinions, and that's all they are. I'm not trying to slander anybody or nothing. It's my opinions only.
Yep, we merely discussed the case. But we know Candace was with Summer that day, and we know Candy Cane was with her, or Grandis, whatever you want to call her. And we have a lot of people that consider Candace a sympathetic character. Battered woman syndrome. she's depressed, and that could all be true. But Jay for Justice uncovered a lot of things. And, she had to sit on it for a while before she could even talk about it. Because Candace actually has a history, and it's really disturbing what has happened to her 2 older children.
I believe. Do what now?
Did you watch that show?
Yeah, if I recall right, I'm pretty sure Jay for Justice sat on it for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's not just some cockamamie thing. It's been, as far as I'm concerned, it's been proven. So.
Well, I've even said that I felt sorry for Candace when she was at the swimming hole with Chris, when she went back to the house. I said, wow, I see where people, I said, I feel bad for her. I can see why people sympathize with her. But now, it comes out that, she's not that nice to children.
Why didn't she have a red hoodie on instead of the Mom Patrol shirt?
And it was probably too hot that day, but that red hoodie is something else. So, in her late teens, Candace, she was with a man in his early 40s. And let's look at the age difference between her and Dawn. So she had 2 children. They're still alive. No one's dead. Andrew and Candace. So we have 3 Candaces. We have Grandma Candace, Summer's mom Candace, and Summer has a half-sister named Candace.
Jesus.
Something went on in the house that they were living in between Candace and the children's father, to the point where the state of Wisconsin took custody of her 2 older children. Her oldest son actually has never recovered from whatever happened, because I can't find charges that either of them were charged, but we do know those kids were never allowed around them again.
Right.
They were both removed from Candace's care and put into foster care. They were then later removed from that foster home because of abuse. Little Candace, the 3rd Candace, okay? It's hard to keep up with all the same names, guys. But
there's so many Candaces. It would be like me saying, I'm Kevin, here's my other brother, Kevin. This one's my dad, his name is Kevin. They
recycle their names all the time, okay? And,
why?
We have Dawn, Andrew, Candace. They're not the Kennedys. They don't need to hand that lineage down. But they do. Anyway, so little Candace actually ran away from foster care. So they did not have a good childhood at all. But they obviously had it better than Summer.
Every kid that Candace has kicked out of her womb has been neglected. And to me, that is absolutely pathetic.
Well, I did see that she was actually ordered to pay child support, but do we know that she ever did? Because if you guys go to the Wisconsin Circuit Court, you can pull it up. You can just Google it. You can see all this listed. You can see it all. Besides the fact that Andrew and Candace were severely abused and neglected and taken by the state of Wisconsin, as if that's not heartbreaking enough, her daughter, I'm just going to keep calling her little Candace.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else, A, B, and C. I don't know.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
Reached out to Candace. Candace as in Summer's mom. And she called her a couple of years ago. I'm going to say a couple. I don't know if it was 2 years, 3 years, just a couple of years ago. She wanted some sort of explanation as to why they were raised in foster homes, why they had terrible childhoods. And, probably the girl was hoping for a loving and apologetic voice on the phone.
Well, you know what? And I applaud her for that because, she knows, I'm sure she knows everything that's going on right now, but yet she still wanted to talk to her mom. That says a lot for her. And
Yeah.
Candace, she doesn't even have a piece of dignity to even address her. That just goes to show you know, it's bullshit.
Oh, Benny, I totally believe that Dawn is a victim too. I think this is a generational cycle that has to stop.
Exactly.
And Summer stopped it. Summer has stopped it. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, we got plenty to talk about Dawn.
Yeah. Well, like I said, she calls, her biological mother Candace, and basically Candace told her to take a shit in her hat. She had no time for her. Leave her alone. Didn't.
That's so wrong.
You know how many ways Candace could have handled that conversation?
She can't.
She could have easily been a human being, a mother, somebody with maternal instinct, and said, hey, I think about you every day. I was young. Your father was abusive. I would love to see you, reconnect with you. You have 4 half siblings that would love to be around.
Or how about even
Summer would love to have a big sister. Summer would love that. But instead, she just rejected her again. This girl had already been abandoned by her mama.
She could have at least said, I got your message, but I think you're a piece of shit and I'm not calling you. That's better than doing nothing at all, in my opinion.
She did more than that.
Yeah.
She did more than that.
Yeah, she did.
She caused this girl further upset and agony. These two had an awful childhood, and now they have a half sister missing. Benny, I agree with you. All right, Kevin, Benny Keys is in here. He's in chat.
Oh, Benny boy. What's up, buddy?
Oh, you guys, I tell you what, we're going to have a Summer Wells cruise someday and get everyone together. No, I agree with you, Benny. I think Granny is way more involved, but we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, for sure.
But like I said, these two now have to cope with being abandoned by Candace being with Dawn, and they have a half sister who's missing.
Yep.
All right. So Grandma Candace, all right, the one with the hurt knee. So we've been going back and forth, for a couple months, few weeks, whatever. And we've said over and over and asked, we've speculated, how can a grandma up and leave the state, whether it's to get a knee surgery done in Wisconsin or to see another daughter in Illinois, how can she leave knowing that her granddaughter's missing? Knowing that her daughter's life is in hell? Well, history repeats itself, my friends, because she's fled before. She had 2, or still does, 2 grandchildren, Andrew and Candace, that went to the state of Wisconsin in foster care. And Candy Cane, Grandma Candace, didn't step in. She didn't try to get custody of the grandkids, did she? No,
she didn't try anything.
They were in state care all of this time. Thank you, Carol. How could she let her first grandkids go through that hell? Most moms would take over if they are not caring for the kids properly. Exactly. What grandma would seriously just let her kids go to foster care? Especially knowing that Candace, her namesake, little Candace, ran away. They were taken out of one foster home and put in another because of abuse, and you sit and do nothing? Nobody wants kids in state care. I mean, of course they want to go to a relative that'll take care of them, and grandparents are normally where they go. And I don't even want to hear about money. I don't even want to hear about money.
I can't even imagine if my daughter was still alive, that if she had a grandchild, I would just, and it came up missing, I wouldn't say nothing. Are you flipping kidding me? That is absolutely terrible if you think about it. Really, I can't even imagine doing that to my grandkids. I worry if they brush their teeth.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Right. But I mean, also look at, don't worry about me, Anita. She was welcomed when we started the show, but you know, she wants to do that. She just got blocked. It's okay. Like I said, we're all for different opinions and discussion, but no. Mm-mm. All right. But also let's look at Candace. She has a daughter missing. Why would she leave the state of Wisconsin when she knows her own daughter, flesh and blood, is missing there?
Maybe she's involved.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there, but why would you? Let's look at, I mean, for example, Natalie Holloway's mother. You can't keep her out of Aruba. She's still looking for her daughter. She's not going to stop. But not Candace. Her daughter is missing in Wisconsin. She grabbed the camper and went to Tennessee. And then when Summer goes missing, she leaves again. When her two oldest grandchildren go to foster care, she doesn't care. She's got no shits to give.
Go kick back up on the mountain.
Yeah.
Out of the public's eye. Hiding like a criminal. As far as I'm concerned.
You can't bother her with anything. I mean, Dawn even said she never thought that he was good enough for Candace. How could she make that call? She doesn't care about her kids or her grandkids. Who is she to judge Dawn? And I've got issues with Dawn. Don't get me right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dawn's got a lot of stuff going on. Who is she to be on any moral high ground and judge anyone? She had a 19-year-old daughter having children with an early 40s man.
Wow, that wouldn't have happened on my end of the stick.
No.
I would have put an end to that real quick.
Right.
It just shows you how dysfunctional they all are. Really, they're pathetic. It's absolutely sickening. If you write down everything that's dysfunctional about that family, you're going to run out of paper.
Well, I mean, look at everything that's gone on. Tiffany said, silence speaks loudly from the matriarch of the family. Yeah, because they're not telling the whole truth.
There's no way you can convince me, and in my opinion, that Grandma doesn't know what happened to Summer and where she is. Because I don't believe in the abduction theory. So
I don't believe in the abduction theory, but Grandma was there.
The phantom abductor.
She knows what went on. I mean, come on. She knows.
Sure, she does.
All right, I'm going to put this up real quick, and I'm going to play the 911 call.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Tiffany said, Candy and Candace were last to see Summer from what we know. Why is Candy Kane hiding? That's what I want to know. Why does she hide from everything? These shitstorms occur in her family, and she's gone.
She's you know like Dawn. She's just like Dawn and Candace, hiding. Why doesn't Candace come out and talk? Say something. Why doesn't Candace?
She's scared to. I think she is honestly scared to. All right, hang on one second.
I guess I would be too. If I was a criminal.
Yeah, but then people say, oh, it's because she doesn't want social media. She put on her own Facebook, I'm not accepting new friend requests right now.
Who the hell wants to be her friend?
That's all. Your granddaughter's missing. That's all you've got to say?
It's obvious they don't have any friends because the only people that's come to their house, as far as I know, is David Dotson and Robin. Why don't they have friends? Why? I don't understand that. Why hasn't anyone stepped forward, friends that live around them? The only person I've heard is the lady that claims the neglect. That's a neighbor. They're up on that mountain hiding. far as I'm concerned.
All right, hang on, Kevin. We're going to play the 911, just a part of the call, okay?
Yeah.
Because, people have argued in chat saying that Candace never changed her story. And even though we've said over and over.
Yes, she did.
She has. So
Run, walk.
Tiffany said Candy Cane should be headed back real soon. Oh, I agree. All right, hang on 1 second.
Traffic from emergency dispatchers the night Summer Wells disappeared. Take a listen.
Around 110, 110 Hill Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home. Now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Again, audio from police scanner traffic that evening. Dispatchers referenced Summer Wells as a 4-year-old.
Who calls after 10 minutes?
Who said she's 4 years old? She's 5. I'm not even her dad, and I know that.
Who calls after 10 minutes? 10 minutes.
The parents, both parents, right?
I'll never understand it. All right, so this is what Candace had to say. Okay, now that was her original. Remember, we heard she went for a walk, she went for a run. At one point, we heard. Now this is when she was fighting with people in comments.
She'll be running all right.
Is when she said, Summer walked out the back door. She was barefoot. But this is the final story. All right.
Where their sister was, and they said she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
So right there, if you could hear it okay, is where she says she doesn't go for walks around there. She doesn't go for walks around there. But when she called 911, she went on a walk and Summer was gone for 10 minutes.
Well, first she's claiming that she doesn't go because of the bears and the coyotes. Coyotes aren't going to drag a 5-year-old off in the woods. Okay, I've hunted my whole life, bears and coyotes. I've shot them, and they don't. There's no way they're not going to. There would be so much screaming, And then she turns around and throws in the abduction. So which is it, Candace? Bears and coyotes when you went for a walk, or is it the mysterious abductor?
Well, it's a mysterious abductor because they can't get away from that. That's their saving grace. That's their saving grace because she can't tell what really happened. And yes, I believe she's had a very hard time with Dawn. I believe she had a very hard time with Andrew. I believe she's had a very hard life. And I believe her mother is a big part of it because look how much her mother doesn't give a shit about her family. That tells you a lot. That tells a lot. But we listened right there. Hopefully it came through clear enough where the 911 call, she went on a walk. And then we hear her say, oh, I don't go on walks around here because of bears and coyotes. And then we hear the story again about her and her mom. Okay, her and her mom, which is why I think she's protecting her mom and her mom's protecting her. We were planting flowers. Summer wanted a piece of candy from grandma, and she grabs her, gets her hand, walks her to the porch, which is so ridiculous. Nobody calls in 10 minutes and nobody grabs their child's hand and walks them to a porch when they know how to walk.
Yeah, when it's only 30 feet away.
Yeah, they can see what she's doing.
What a joke.
She's not walking her into the bathroom, at a super busy shopping mall or a zoo or anything. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, I thought I heard something fall. Sorry.
No, I'm just looking at chat real quick.
I wish I could see chat.
Yeah, I'll put some stuff up in a second. Clark said, if it's a mysterious abductor, how is Candace involved? Benny asked Dawn that. Tiffany said, I really believe Candace forgot what she told dispatch. That is in the crack in her first initial story. She went for a walk. Candace never reported anything. No, but she sticks with his story. That's the thing. These stories have changed.
Well, Candace probably isn't talking because, think about it, they've said so many different things that if Candace starts talking, it might not match what Dawn's saying because they've said so many lies. How can you keep covering and covering? You can't, and it's obvious. They can't.
Nope. So, then it came out that the neighbor, the neighbor was in a group. There's two different neighbors, okay? There's the neighbor. We won't get into that part. The neighbor came out and just wanted everyone to know she's the one that called CPS. And these are all allegations. And she basically was talking and said that she witnessed rats, bugs, wolf rats, and that the house was absolutely filthy. Do you want to explain what a wolf rat is, Kevin? Because some people may not know.
It basically is like a small chihuahua. That's how big they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a mouse or a regular little rat. A wolf rat, if I had one in my house, I'd go stay in a motel until I got rid of them. That's how, to me, I would be terrified if I seen a wolf rat on my countertop.
If I saw a rat, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
Nobody wants rodents in their house.
No. A wolf rat is huge. Look them up on Google them. You'll see how big they are and how they look.
I'll get back to that in a second. Susan just said, just remember this. Susan said, deleting their stuff after 3:30 was a brilliant move, in my opinion. Boy, wasn't it? It's like, what shows have they been watching?
Well, I guarantee you TBI knows what was on their phones. I don't give a damn what they did. You can retrieve all that.
Yep. Hang on. Tiffany said, I wonder if they were covered in dirt when they called her missing, or if they knew dirt would be an issue. Dirt under nails, dirt in the washer. She did laundry, right? I don't think she did any damn laundry.
I don't either. Or dishes. Are you kidding me? They probably ate on the backside of their plates.
If she did do laundry that day, it reminds me a lot of when Breasia Terrell went missing and Aisha washed all her clothes so that they couldn't have any scent of her. So if she truly did laundry and that's confirmed and not just her story, then I'm out.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Why wouldn't she wash all of Summer's clothes? If you think about it, that could be. We don't
know if she even really did laundry. We don't even know if she even turned on the washer or touched any of Summer's clothes. She's not a housekeeper.
Oh, that's obvious. That house is absolutely pathetic. Seriously. I mean, how can you even, when you look at the pictures in the interview with Chris, how can you not say that that house is filthy? Because if you do, I have to question people's sanity.
So after your
That-
long day of running around, you went home and did laundry? For what? School's not in. Susan said, hang on. Just a correction. Susan said, that's who I mean. TBI deleted it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. All right. So the neighbor said that a lot of times dinner was candy and chips. You know, I don't know. She said, Candace was always engaged in her phone. And we've talked a lot about how she loved that TikTok shit. She was always on that damn TikTok.
Well, from what Candace said, they didn't even stop for lunch to get Summer something to eat. Some candy and a pop or something. What about a hamburger or something?
Yeah. Something with some substance. I mean, I don't know. And Dawn sticks with that too. She loved her candy. She'd run down the hill all the time and get candy from me.
But yet he doesn't remember her favorite candy or her favorite color.
No.
Really?
Uh-huh. Said that she was usually high or lazy. I don't think this woman has any reason to lie. Benny said the TBI mess up the house. The house is clean as a whistle. It is now, Benny, or it was before? So then why are the neighbors saying it was always a mess?
Come on, Benny. You're digging.
She said they have money, but nothing for the kids. They spend a lot of money on booze, drugs, cigarettes, and a lot of times the kids were donated clothes. Now I want to know more about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, something else is, you're talking about neglect to the kids. Crime Stories Obsessed posted on her channel Summer's teeth, a close look at them. It wasn't just baby teeth that were coming out. She even had a dentist. Summer had severe gingivitis at 5 years old. They can buy drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever, a new car, but they can't, did they have, in my opinion, did they have toothpaste and a toothbrush?
I don't know. And sometimes, kids' teeth, they do get like that if they're eating a lot of candy and pop and things like that. And you have some dentists they'll say, hey, they're going to fall out anyway, unless it's causing them pain. It's the truth. It happens. So I'm not going to get into too much about her teeth. I've seen some kids before, and I'm like, and their parents are like, well, they're going to fall out. That's just, So she said they took the kids to the lake, but refused to take them to the movies because of money. Now, I will say taking 4 kids, taking a family of 6 to the movies, or just say Candace and the 4, that is expensive. But just to refuse Summer to take her to the movies ever is odd to me. Dawn was known to call Summer the C word, and Candace was sitting there when this was overheard. Mind you, these are allegations, everybody.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I have nothing, that's the bad thing is my opinion. I don't have much good to say about any of them. Really. I think they're all pathetic.
Oh, guys, I'm going to say one thing real quick. Different opinions we're all about. Discussion we're all about. A few people have been removed because excusing SA or child abuse we're not going to go for.
I think neglect is child abuse. Calling your daughter a C word is mental abuse. It's all child abuse. All of it. And then you got, let's see the court paperwork to prove it. I don't need it. I've seen it. How can you not say that isn't child abuse? It is absolutely 100%.
I gotta look at some real quick. Hang on a second. Can you get them to look into the 4-minute mark of Chris M's Lake report? He's gone through losing a child, as I have. Anyone who experiences a major accident, well, time stands still. So you're saying that she couldn't remember the events of the day, or she could? All right. So anyway, hopefully he chimes back in and tells me what he's talking about. I just want to make sure I didn't misread that. So she said that Summer loved dolls, but she also wanted to play with her brother's Hot Wheels, but they wouldn't buy her Hot Wheels because she's a girl and didn't like her playing with their toys. It was common for the brothers to hit her. Summer even said at one point she couldn't even have a Barbie car. She could fish with the boys, which, I mean, hey, going to the lake is free, and they already established they don't want to take all the kids to the movies. Which, look, I'm not gonna pick on that. All right, that's expensive. Dear God, I can spend $100. I mean, want to take all my kids to the movies? Got $100 just in snacks. That she loved The Lion King, but because she's a girl, they refused to let her watch it. Which kind of brings me back to how in their first interview, how they pushed so hard. They pushed so hard about Princess and Elsa. They didn't mention that she loved to play with her brother's stuff, you know, the Hot Wheels, or that she loved to fish. It was all princess, princess, princess.
Right. Even Don said it. She loved to twirl like a ballerina.
Mm-hmm. Don caught one of his sons drinking alcohol and punched him in the face. Wow. Again, this is an allegation. If Benny's causing too much problems, he's got to go.
Benny just wants to, listen, I'm not going to ruin your channel stuff, but Benny just trying to pick a fight. Go home, Benny.
Benny, you've got a ring to order, remember?
Yeah, no shit. Go pay for Don's lawyer and defend SA. Get out of here.
So he punched his son in the face, according to the neighbor.
I knew he was going to start that shit.
So, you know, she played with Summer quite often. The neighbor did. And I don't know why this woman would admit to calling CPS, say all this, and people can easily figure out who she is. And basically, I mean, who would lie? You know what I'm saying? Who would lie like that? She said Candace did confront her about CPS. But she said she also called other people wanting to know who called.
Yeah, I'm sure she did want to know who called. They're trying to find out everything they can. You know, that's obvious. Don uses Facebook. He's even been accused of using other people's stories to inject in his own for his satisfaction.
Well, I mean, the way that he uses Facebook doesn't make any sense at all, because I haven't seen, when he came out of the gates, which was not too long after Summer went missing in the Amber Alert, it wasn't any find my daughter, here's a missing poster, you know, just like saying that they don't like them hanging things up around town. You know, some of the store owners don't. I'd be calling out that store owner going, well, I was going to put it down at the dollar store, but they said we can't put her picture up there. Wouldn't you?
Why isn't Don on national news begging for his daughter? I would be on the news. I would offer the phantom kidnapper. I would offer him $1 million ransom or my life for my daughter. I don't care if I was lying about the money. I would try anything. That's the point I'm trying to get at. I would try anything if my daughter was abducted to find her. I wouldn't be on Facebook every day. I wouldn't be on YouTube defending myself. You know why? He can't look for his daughter. He's got to keep lying, in my opinion.
Well, he's got to stick with the story. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's got to stick with the story.
None of it makes sense to me. I don't know, maybe I'm a retard, but none of this, the way they're acting is not how it should be at all. You know, I lost my dog once, you know, and was upset. I can't imagine a daughter and not begging anywhere I could, anywhere, begging for my daughter. Don, why aren't you begging for your daughter? Candace, why aren't you doing a damn thing either? I hope they're listening. Where is your daughter?
You know, I can't believe that. I mean, you know, you see parents of missing children and like they're pleading. They're not talking about themselves. But if you look at the people that are responsible for a child being missing, I'll give a couple examples in a minute. When they talk to the media or if they talk to YouTube or whatever they do, they make it about themselves. Letitia Staunch is what I'm thinking about. She even publicly said, you know, when this is all over, she's going to be owed an apology. You need a second to remove your camera?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm not good at electronics, so hang on. I'm gonna have to relink. I'll see you in a sec.
That's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're fine.
Okay, good. All right.
But
How
they
about
can
that?
think about themselves. I couldn't believe when I saw in the news articles Candace arguing with people. That's when she mentioned the barefoot. Then it comes out about the 911 call and how she went on a walk. Then later we heard she was on a run. And now we're back to the planting flowers story. I'm not a gardener, okay? But what I saw looked like those flowers had been there a while. I didn't see any disturbed earth. It looked like they had already been planted there.
You know what caught me was that when they got home, Candace, they bought groceries, right? And then Candace was asked, tell us everything that happened that day. They never mentioned putting away the groceries before they got, I don't know, just something, they were just hiding something. I don't know, just something was not right about that. She never mentioned any of that. And how long were they in the grocery store? Wasn't it for quite some time? Brooke, do you know?
I don't know how long they were in the grocery store because nothing about the day makes sense to me. Whether it's Candace talking to Chris, Dawn talking, none of it makes sense. None of it adds up.
It seems to me it was a while. Maybe somebody in chat
Tiffany just said those planters had weeds.
Yeah, they did. That whole story is a cockamamie story. I don't believe it for 1 second. You know, I just don't believe it. Oh, get Summer. She'd love to help. Just, I don't know, just something ain't right with it. I don't believe they ever planted a damn stick.
No, and this picture really disturbs me. Do you guys see the reflection? Why would you take a picture of your daughter obviously upset?
I don't know. Didn't they take one of her naked too?
You see this reflection, obviously through a window. And why?
Well, didn't they post a picture?
Yeah, the picture was posted.
No. Candace also, didn't they post a picture of Summer with no clothes on?
Oh yeah, the one. Which one? I mean, there was one of her. They covered up with her laying. It looks like she was laying in the bed. Then there was one where,
Yeah,
she was outside. She was a little thing, and
the one I seen was in the bed.
oh yeah, we have that. I'll put that up in a second.
That ain't right on social media to put your daughter out there like that.
And Shannon, you're right. This case has been screwed from the beginning because none of the facts add up, and the story keeps changing. Every time Don talks, he adds a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more.
But there is one thing Don has made clear, in my opinion. Summer is not alive. He's going to see her in the resurrection. How many times has he said that? And he's so adamant now that somebody threw Summer in a car. Yeah, we know that, Don. We know she was in a car. And I know you'll see. Well, I don't know if you'll see her in the resurrection. That ain't up to me. But I'm sure Jesus ain't happy.
Well, I mean, what about when he was throwing it out there that she could be in Mexico?
Yeah, it can't. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean, look at this beautiful little girl. Beautiful little girl. She's missing. And I'm stating the obvious. How can you be so callous as to not even talk about her being missing? It's all about you.
You know, yeah, and they can't, well, we haven't even, they can't, when you ask the Wells a question, why did they have to throw all this other crap in and beat around the bush? The truth is the truth. What? Yeah. I agree with AB. He sounds like Eeyore on Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. No, Don, come on, wake up.
He's not even all there when they're talking to him. I mean,
No,
it's
he's
like
not.
It's in that one show, and he was asked about Candace's ring size, and he was just at a loss for words.
He didn't know it.
Say, well, let me ask her, or whatever. I'm not saying that's something like you have like right at the, the tip of your tongue, but just like he was dumbfounded. Helen said it's like they're not even the bio parents. I don't know what they are. Barb, you're right. TBI knows exactly what's going on. They know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and then I then the sheriff, she's going to go she called Ronnie Lawson. Now, what the hell is he going to do?
Just real quick, Francine said, do most men know their wives' ring sizes? No, I don't know. But I mean, they would at least say, let me.
I know my wives. I know mine. I mean, that's not a big deal, but I do know it.
This is the picture you're talking about, Kevin. Jenny said, my question is, when are the FBI going to act on it? Oh, I think they're acting on it now. Because they're not saying anything doesn't mean there's not things going on behind the scenes.
In my opinion, it's so obvious what law enforcement is doing.
And poor little Summer deserved 10 times better than this. 100 times better.
Every time they come up with a new cockamamie story, they might as well just slap Summer in the face. Because that's what they're doing. They're disrespecting their 5-year-old daughter, as far as I'm concerned.
And if
I don't believe a damn thing.
And if what was said in chat earlier is true, that Dawn is saying that Candace knows more, well, then you need to make sure she talks.
Exactly.
Because the state of Tennessee and other states have spent an exorbitant amount of money searching for Summer when someone on that property knows what happened.
Yeah, Don, don't be. I'm sorry. Don, don't. He even threw his boys under the bus. Now he's going to throw Grandma under the bus. He threw Candace under the bus. You know, he blamed it on the boys. I've told them boys a million times when Summer, go get Summer.
Hmm.
Why don't you get off your ass and go get her yourself, Don and Candace?
But he's also said that they're going to have to use their own resources because the TBI doesn't know anything and they don't have a clue.
Oh my God,
I
that's
don't
so
believe that
funny.
for a second. And I really, no, I mean, none of this is funny, but I got quite the
No.
chuckle when the missing time was talked about. And he said, you know, that the TBI was talking to him about that, wanted him to talk to Candace about it. And he said, you know, she forgot things like, you know, laundry, getting something to eat. And that the TBI was satisfied with their answers. Now, come on. He can't truly believe that.
Stupid.
If he truly believed that they were okay with his answers, then why have those two not been publicly just cleared? You know, we're looking for an outside person, third party, an abductor. Someone got on that property.
There's no way nobody got on that property. SEAL Team 6. I don't know if it could pull that off.
First, Don said he said she's not on this property. Then he wants EquiSearch back. Well, he's going to keep doing this. He's going to keep talking and talking until he's painted himself in a corner with all his nonsense. The screams Don talked about would have been heard by the Candaces. Yeah, I want to hear more about the screams. I know a neighbor. We have the comment. We have a screenshot of it. I don't know what to make of it. And I understand a lot
I'm
of
sure
people
there was a
not wanting to be involved. They would rather not be on social media and just talk directly with the law enforcement.
I'm sure there was a lot of screaming before Summer went missing.
I agree, Britt. Just let him keep talking.
They're just digging their own grave.
It's already been said by law enforcement, unless something changed in the last 5 minutes and anything with this case is possible, that a stranger abduction is unlikely. Because I'm going off of Candace's last story, how they planted flowers. I don't believe those flowers were freshly planted. All right? That's just my opinion. And that she took her by the hand. She wanted to go see her brothers. She was downstairs playing. And then 2 minutes later, she was gone. So
Well, that cam guy is.
You're telling me somebody, I've said before, if she was at the end of the driveway at the bottom of that hill playing, someone grabbed her, I could see it. But down in that basement, in 2 minutes.
And another thing, Don, is saying this dog trail thing. Well, Dave Rader said it was the driveway.
Yeah.
And really, I don't even think the search, I don't even think that's, to me, it's important, but that's not what's going to solve this case. The dog scent. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the dogs are great for looking for cadaver, for bodies and live humans. But hell, if you think about it, those kids could have been anywhere. Don could have walked Summer down the dog trail. Is he that smart? Don't know.
Does
I
it
don't
seem
think
like
so.
he's that smart with everything he's been saying?
I know,
Margaret,
I'm just being
you have
sarcastic.
nothing to hide. You hide nothing.
The truth is the truth. And Don, the truth will set you free, brother.
And Candace, and I agree completely with Melissa Olson. Electronics are going to play a big part in this.
Yep. And so I honestly believe the boys are going to have talked. So that's my opinion. I think the boys have talked.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking so too. And I think it's an odd time that they took the boys. I think it's a very odd time that they took the boys.
Very odd.
All right, I got to read this really quick. Summer went missing from the basement. Candace said it. The doors were locked. The doors were locked. No one coming in, no one coming out. Dawn said Summer's downfall was being outside, but she wasn't outside, according to Candace. Exactly. So, exactly. While we're all here, you know, when anyone goes live about Summer, anything, any new information, we're all over it because nothing makes sense. Oh, Snow, you didn't have to do that. Thank you, honey.
None of it makes sense as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can't, I don't know. You know, everybody is on Chris McDonough. Well, I'll put my money on Chris McDonough first. So, I don't know.
Well, and I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that at all. And it's not just one channel. It's a few others. And I don't understand that at all. I don't believe that Chris twisted his words. I mean, I saw a little bit of back and forth, but it was mainly Dawn talking.
I thought he'd done a great job getting Dawn to talk.
He just let him talk.
Yep. All this stuff has come out of Dawn's mouth and Candace. They're the ones that set this story up. They're the ones that got to keep covering for each other. They're the ones that got to keep hiding up there on that hill. As far as I'm concerned, the rope is getting tighter.
Well, and like we says, why is Dawn doing all the talking when he supposedly wasn't there? Yeah, we need to hear from Candace and Grandma. Dawn's part's so easy. I was at work all day. We're cooperating with the TBI. We want our daughter back. Done. You know, and I'm beating a dead horse here. I know this, but I'm still very bothered that this was shared right off the bat by Candace. Why did you choose
go back to
that picture?
Right. I always go back to the very first interview with Don and Candace, when, in my opinion, Candace was absolutely stoned. And I think a lot of the answers are in that first interview, because that interview was before Don and Candace were influenced by social media and all the people. It was raw. It was before a lot of time to think about it, on Facebook and all that. And I knew from, in my opinion, that very first interview, I knew Summer wasn't abducted, and I don't think she's alive either. So.
No, I think something happened on that property that day.
Yep. It's one of two things. One of two things. Either it was an accident or it was the other. The parents were involved. That's all it can be, in my opinion.
Well, and I know there was this screenshot that came out. I'm not putting it up because I don't know if it's true or not, but it's supposedly from Candy Cane saying that Summer fell down the stairs and broke her neck.
That's very possible with them stairs.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, why not call 911? How do they even know what a broken neck looks like?
Yeah, I don't believe the whole theory of if it was an accident that they covered it up. I don't believe
And
that
I
at
don't.
all.
I could possibly
Nope.
believe that if Candace was responsible for the accident. But this whole thing, this theory about the boys could have done something. Nuh-uh, they would not cover up for their boys. They would not cover up for those boys. They would have called 911 and they would have said one of the 3 boys did this. I'm surprised they didn't already.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing it was an accident. And the only reason I say that is because of the CPS, and because of Don's past and Candace's past. Let's remember, Candace is abused kids her whole life. So, I keep going back to that. And those, to me, stand out for the possibility of what happened to someone.
B said, I think it's a cover up from an accident. Yeah, we all have different theories, and that's absolutely fine. But something happened. And I believe it happened here. Somewhere
So do I.
here.
So do I. It very well could have been an accident. I'm not saying it's not. All I'm saying is I'm going by.
Fiona, thank you.
I'm just going by past behavior.
Tiffany said, Dawn is trying to place blame on the boys. I don't believe the boys know or saw anything. I think the boys were sent to the creek long before Dawn drove up on the shed. They were probably kept away. I totally believe that. But it's much easier to blame the minors. And by the way, guys, if you aren't following the work that Tiffany Marie's doing on this case, she's actually in our chat. You got to see it because it's amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. So is AB. In my opinion.
Crazy work. Great work.
She does her homework.
Yeah. Oh, she does. Did you scare Benny off, Kevin?
Oh, no. Me and Benny been going at it, but that's a different story. Yeah. Me and Benny been... I antagonize him every day. So... Yeah. Did he leave?
Well, I haven't seen him comment. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for the
I'm sure
for
he'll
Wells because I mean he didn't send him pizza, but I mean he sent pizza to Monica Sherrard. The Wells haven't gotten anything. They haven't gotten a lawyer, a birthstone ring. They haven't gotten pizza.
I'm sure you'll hear about it on Voices Behind the Drywall. You know, he's just digging to try to get material. I don't even want to go. This show ain't about Benny. This is about Summer.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
I will say this, though. Putting this idea in Dawn's head that you can get him an attorney is actually pretty damn cruel, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is the biggest lie ever. Think about that. They're going to get... I hope they have a lot of money, and I hope they find an attorney that will even take this case. Think about it. How are you going to, in a trial, defend Don, all the shit he has said? How are you going to cover all that? Call him crazy?
Someone's mind that you're going to get them an attorney, a PR attorney, public relations, and a defense attorney is ludicrous because people will do it pro bono because of all the advertisement they get. All right, now I get it. Jose Baez did it for Casey Anthony, okay? He rolled some big dice. No, that's not going to happen here.
How are they going to raise enough money? Prairie Boy can't even pay for his truck or his credit card in his social experiment. I'll leave that at that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll never
It
understand.
ain't right.
Why would you even
Done.
say that you could get someone an attorney?
Or call Ronnie Lawson and get some answers. What the hell is that? Like he's going to tell her. He won't even tell her what dog he has. This isn't a criminal investigation.
It is a criminal investigation. And by the way, has anyone noticed that Prairie Boy? I really don't even want to get into that. It just crossed my mind. He's a thirsty motherfucker, isn't he? He's always
Pepsi
drinking
boy.
something. He's always got a 2-liter of Pepsi when there's no Pepsi in it. There's water in it. Or he's grabbing a cup. Like he's constantly thirsty, like he's parched. I'm like,
no one gave him money. No one's giving him money for a water bottle. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
But nobody should be telling Don that they're going to get him a damn attorney. That's a crazy thing to say. And this
they
whole,
absolutely cannot.
They called sheriff, they called the sheriff, and she rolled her eyes, and he wouldn't take my call, wouldn't call me back or whatever.
What's the lawyer going to do? Put Chris McDonough on the stand?
You really think he would? You really think Sheriff Ronnie Lawson's going to talk to you? Talk to your ass. You think so?
What are they going to do? Put Chris McDonough on the stand and question him for slander? How can you ruin their reputation? Don's doing it well, good enough.
Don already said he's going to ruin his reputation.
Yeah, okay. And if grasshoppers have machine guns, birds would need them.
Free Thinkers.
That's about how much.
Said, why did he have to go to the sheriff's office yesterday? Was it to get police report, or was he requested to go there? What I saw was Don said he was going to get documents. He was told falsely again that if the police report costs anything, that they would get the money together so he could pay for it. Hopefully it's free. He wants documents, as if they're going to hand Don the case file and say, hey, this is what we know so far, buddy.
I don't mean to laugh. This isn't fun.
Come on. I mean, really, you have to admit how comical that is. We're not making fun of anything. That is comical for him to think he's going to march in there and get, as he says, documents. What documents? What are you talking about?
And then Don said, oh, I don't know what law enforcement is thinking. I can't find out. No shit, Sherlock. You're a suspect in a criminal case. They're not going to tell them crap. If anything, they'll lie to them. The police can lie.
Yeah, like Shannon said, it's an open investigation. He's not getting shit. He's not getting nothing.
Yeah, everyone's a suspect. I'll bet I know who everyone is.
Well, I can narrow it down to 3.
Oh, yep.
Thank you, Barb.
3 for sure.
There was 2 adults with Summer during the day. Candace and Candace.
Yep.
Don, we don't know if he was at work all day, came back, went back to work. We don't know. I'm just too anxious right now. I can't wait for them to crack this and tell us what went on.
I don't believe Don was at work all day, so. Really? No way.
I certainly don't believe all the different stories. There's too many different ones. Louise said, I think fracture to her skull or broken neck or both. Candace pushed her to the high and quick. In that video, Candace put it up. I think she may have flipped around. Yeah, well, I mean, there's been, too many recent cases where the cell phone told everything.
There's a lot of data coming back. And I watched the Everyday Shenanigans had a show, and she had a lady on there that called in that works with phones and knows all about that. And she said the phone data, the simple phone data comes back in 60 days, but it can take months to line all the pings up, whatever that means. But this is, and another thing, TBI is not going to botch this case up. It's too big. We're not going to have a mistrial. Nope. It takes a long time.
In a day for them to match up the cell phone pings from Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. What went on and how they found JJ and Tylee.
Yep. It takes a while to put all them statements. Can you imagine sorting through Don's statements at TBI? That guy probably has to take sedatives.
No.
How can you even defend them? I don't know. Maybe I'm just, if they're innocent, I swear to God, I'm going to have a stroke.
Well, I don't think you're going to have a stroke. Let me put it that way.
I don't either.
All right. I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to come up and chat.
I've already said it since day one. If they're innocent, and I'll prove it, I will send them a card and money for them boys. And I promise that. But I also promise Summer, because I can't go physically look for her. I'm not a cop, but I can scream on every YouTube channel, justice for Summer until she's found. And by exposing what she was exposed to is finding Summer. You got these people saying, well, what have you done to find Summer? But you run your yap. I am trying to help.
They say that all the time. Nobody on any channel or anything is going to solve this case. That's all between law enforcement. So anyone that says, What are you doing to find Summer? We're discussing the case. We're talking about it. We're keeping it going. You want it to be a cold case and people forget about her?
Well, look how many people attack Mountain Girl. But anyway, this show ain't about, but you're right. People will just attack you. For no reason, just to be rude.
Anna said, why would Don Juan want police reports if he knows what happened? Yeah, well, he's probably going to go towards corruption, and that's not what they said, or something like that.
That's a great question. That was a very good question.
Susie said investigators told Candace to leave. I don't think so, but I think it's very telling that she got the hell out of town. I think it's very telling that she didn't have two shits to give when her grandchildren went to foster care in Wisconsin, that she left Wisconsin when she had a missing daughter. I think history is important.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the FBI, the TBI, law enforcement, they don't care where they go. Why would they? Go ahead, go to Florida, go to wherever. They're not going to lose them.
Yeah, they're just telling on themselves.
Exactly. They don't care that grandma left. We don't even know. In my opinion, grandma's been questioned, maybe even in Wisconsin. I'm sure they've already talked to her, but I just want to know what she said. May never know until they go to trial. I don't know. But all I know is grandma knows.
So I'm just going to touch a little bit on this, and we'll go further into it on Thursday because we know other things are going to happen. We have another show tomorrow. We have one on Thursday. Who had a very, very hard time listening to Jeannie on the interview room with Chris?
I did. I cried.
Yeah. She has dealt with the essay, the memories of it, the terror for 37 years. That's why I
She was
love
basically tortured.
Yep.
Go ahead, Brooke. No, she was basically tortured. Really. It's terrible. Had to put on 5 pair of pants. Wow.
Went after a friend of hers. She wanted to sleep on the top bunk because she didn't want her friend assaulted, is how I took it. Her dad caught him one time and he said he was sleepwalking. That whole thing. And yeah, and I agree. I'm sure, I guarantee bad things have happened to Dawn too. But also remember, instead of, Dawn taking responsibility, he's telling people that she initiated it. 5 years old, 5-year-old little baby. She initiated this behavior with him, this nastiness.
Well, I feel sorry for any person who's gone through SA. I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't even imagine. I don't know. I can't even imagine that happening. That is so horrific.
Second. Put that up. Yeah, she is an amazing woman. And you know what? She has kept this secret for 37 years. And she comes out to help little Summer. I hope she presses
In my
charges.
opinion,
Yep.
so do I. And in my opinion, I think maybe there could even be more. I don't know. I'm not saying there is. It's not a fact. It's not proven. But in my opinion, it very well could be there's a little bit of a trail of victims. I don't know. That's we're talking about Candace. She knew what Don was when she married him.
Well, and she's heard this. She knew soon after Summer disappeared that Jeannie had come forward with this. She had come forward with her story. She knew it. And still sticks by him. She doesn't care. Now, Dawn says they're not getting along. Well, I don't think they ever really got along, if you know what I mean. They got along the night that they were harassing the hell out of Chris. But what an awful thing for this woman to have to live with all of these years, and comes forward and basically in a public arena, if you want to know, very public, to tell this awful story to help little Summer, and she even admits she's never even met her.
I've never met Summer.
Well, no, neither have I. But she's sickened. She is sickened by what has happened to this little girl, and she can probably guess what she went through.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, in my opinion, SA is a big part in Summer's life. In my opinion. I can't discount it. You can't. You can't at all. There's just, that stuff stays with you. From what I've heard, all I know is it would absolutely be torture to somebody. When Summer was getting ready to start school.
He assaulted her. Look at all the times.
This is why I don't believe in accident, but I'm going to leave it at that. Summer was getting ready to start school.
I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. And we got too many coincidences in this family and too many, the first show we did about this, the day after the Amber Alert, I'm like, wow, how can lightning strike twice in one family? You've got a daughter missing and now a granddaughter. And now we have yet another coincidence, which is grandma runs every time shit hits the fan.
Yep. In my opinion, I think when law enforcement got that very first call, when they seen the address, I can't prove this, but it's kind of common sense to me that they smelled a rat when they were called the 110 Ben Hill Hail. I mean, these people aren't the Cleavers at all. They're not even, nobody is really. No one's perfect in this world. Nobody. But I'll be damned. This is far from perfect. This crap
No, it's
that's gone on.
generational. It's been going on and on and on for years. And it doesn't matter how much you talk. Like, Don thinks he can talk his way out of this. And like I said, for a millionth time, he's got the easiest job, Don. You're at work all day, remember? Why do you keep talking? Revelations, resurrection. You name it. Why?
I like what Humanimal said. You ain't no preacher, man.
Plead for your daughter. Quit with the sermons. Quit with the sermons. How come at the last prayer vigil, 2 people showed up and one was Candace?
When I saw that, I was like, wow. They don't have any backbone. They have the shares and Benny, putting my criminal investigation in the hands of the shares and Benny. What does that tell you how smart a person is? You have to be an absolute.
Sorry,
you have to be psychotic. You have to be psychotic to put your trust in the share, an animal torturer, a guy that asked for money so to pay for his truck and credit card, proven it's on YouTube. And you got Benny there, putting your trust in their hands and exposing. If anything, they're ruining. Maybe they're working for law enforcement because what they're doing absolutely makes no sense at all. They can't fund on a lawyer. How are they going to help him? Spread awareness through Benny?
Well, how are they helping him anyway? They're getting him into more trouble.
That's what I'm saying.
How are they helping him at all? They're letting him talk.
They're not.
And it's only benefiting certain people, but it's not benefiting Summer.
It wouldn't surprise me when they get arrested if that's what they say. Oh, yeah, we were just trying to really expose Don for what it is. Yeah, okay. I can see them saying that. Nobody can. It's going to take somebody that really, really knows what they're doing and stuff to defend Don in court. And let's not forget about this. Summer's a criminal case. Plus, they have another case with CPS.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of stuff. They got legal issues stacked up higher than that toilet paper and paper towels she has stacked up.
Yep, and Cher's going to find a lawyer for him to go through all that.
The
I don't
public
think a lawyer would even.
Attorney blew my mind.
What lawyer in the right mind would even call her?
Not pro bono looking for advertisement. That's ridiculous. Take it pro bono. Take it pro bono because we're going to get so much advertisement that it'll build up our law firm or whatever silliness was said. If you can't afford your own bills and your own wedding, you can't get him an attorney.
Cher, do me a favor. If you do call Ronnie Lawson, could you record the conversation? Because I think people would love to hear that.
Yeah, he's not going to call them back.
Not a chance in hell.
You know what? And the guy, I'm answering a comment in here. You know, the guy that's doing the prayer vigils, he's doing a nice thing. He really is.
I applaud that man.
Yeah, people aren't showing up. That kind of tells you all you need to know. Because let's look at other cases where, I mean, the whole community came out every single time. And that's not about Summer. They're supporting Summer. They're not supporting someone else.
When I seen that prayer vigil with nobody there, that spoke loud and clear what the people think about Donna Candace, in my opinion. Nobody showed up hardly.
No, it's like my King of Kings just said, like for Gannon. The minute they announced a prayer vigil, the whole community turned out.
And you see, that church, I know a little bit, that church is really, I'm not going to knock them because they really are into Jesus.
I mean, we can name, well, there's too many missing children, period, and too many children that have been murdered. But when there's a vigil, people turn out. That's what I'm sketched out about, that people are not showing up. And like I said, it's not about Summer. They have lost faith in the family.
Yeah, I don't see the family spreading awareness about Summer whatsoever. All I see is defending allegations. Why is that? Why would you even have to have all these allegations? The truth is the truth. Don, the truth will set you free. Where's your daughter?
You're exactly right. Where's Summer? Where is Summer?
Where is she?
Because I don't believe
think it's a fair.
Mexico. I don't believe she's in Mexico. I don't believe an abductor got her. Where is Summer?
Or some person that cared some fairy tale ending.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Summer? I have an idea. I know where she's at, but I don't know. I don't know where. As far in my own opinion.
No, we don't know where, but I have a feeling that there's someone's that could put this together really fast and make it a lot easier on the authorities and give that little girl the respect, justice, and love she didn't have in life.
Because if someone did do something horrific to Summer, wouldn't you think they'd get less time if they come right out and admitted it?
I doubt it. That's the reason they're fighting so hard.
Exactly. I don't see them doing anything to find her. I'm sure there's news stations that would love to put Don on TV and Candace. But they haven't reached out to no one as far as I know or seen. I don't know.
Because they can't control that. Just like they couldn't control Chris. They've got to be on something that they can control the narrative and they get the sympathy. That's all they're looking for.
Exactly. That is exactly what it is.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to start winding this down, and we will be back to talk about Summer on Thursday. We have another show tomorrow, and I agree someone should be arrested. Should have already been arrested, but these things take a long time. A long time. Kevin, Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I wake up every day wondering if today's the day they find her.
Oh, I think we all do.
It's the
first thing I check in the morning.
I think we just just be patient with law enforcement. That's all you can do. But I thank you for letting me talk and everybody else.
Well, you're the best, Kevin. Everyone here loves you. Moderators, thank you so much. All of you guys that showed up today and that show up every time we go live, we can't thank you enough. And
Nope.
we are going to see you tomorrow, and we will see you on Thursday, possibly Friday too, but we'll see what happens with that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all. Bye.